resisting the temptation to speak, to be put in, to be dragged in into another person's narrative or drama. So hi there, and I hope you're keeping well, you're keeping sane, you're keeping safe, and being involved in what can I say, love. Yes, being involved in love over hate. And that's what I have been aiming and focusing on this week and forever, not only on this week. So lots of emotions going on at the moment. A lot of people, a lot of us, I won't say just a lot of people, for different reasons, we're consumed by different emotions. Before I hopped on here, I was thinking about being in lockdown for so many weeks, and for some of us, it's been many months. 2020 so far has been I would say gruesome and experimental in terms of emotions. Experimental in terms of testing one's own resilience, in how to still remain focused on a better outlook. So the reason why I hopped on here, I wanted to focus on certain topics, and not even certain topics, the key topic, because there's been COVID, and then we're also going through the tremendous loss of George Floyd. Whether we knew him or not, it's had an impact on people globally. He has had an impact. The Black Lives Matter movement and cause as well had, I can't even speak today, has had an impact globally. And for most of us, this is not the first time. A lot of us have had to go through these experiences, traumatic experiences, over and over again. And it's got to the point where it's been enough, more than enough. And I won't go into all the details. What I wanted to focus on, why I won't go into all the details, I wanted to focus on all lives matter. Now I explain why. I've been seeing a lot of people throwing things on social media and hoping that it will stick, it will make an impact, it will do something, stir up something, inflict somebody, and then a lot of people swarming in to throw responses, to explain, to teach people, to educate people. I'll put my hands up. I've seen that going on in the background, and part of me has been saying, resist, resist, fight the temptation. And I've picked my moments where I've been selective on who I want to engage with and hold a dialect with. So why this is important is that on TikTok, I just posted a short video about this statement or phrase that says, when a student is ready, a teacher will show. When a student is ready, the teacher will disappear. Okay, so this is through Buddhism. And this statement has been out there. So basically, if anybody is really interested, has empathy, kindness, understanding, wants to listen, will take the moment to learn about somebody, the reason why they're being impacted, what their history is, and what their present situation is. They will invest time before they throw something on social media, hoping that it will stick. I've been trying to stick with raising awareness, in a sense that when I find something meaningful, I'll share it on social media. And other times I've got involved in maybe 1, 2, or 3 discussions, and it hasn't been every day, where I've clarified in terms of situations that have happened, but not getting too involved in the clarified in sense of educating. Yes, instead of raising that awareness and educating, but not overdoing it to the point that it drains my emotions. Because As I mentioned before, we've had COVID, we've got all other things to consider, financially, economically, and then we've also got the protests going on, and then we've got people who do not have or have chosen not to learn or educate themselves. That's their decision. So I'm trying to separate that there's certain people who've made a decision that they don't want to be involved or they don't want to educate themselves. So they throw this statement as an example: all lives matter. It is their choice. It is their decision. They have made it. Okay? There's some people who will make an effort and they will reach out. They'll want to learn. So I've had meaningful exchanges with some people who in the end it has been beneficial, but others where I've observed from a distance it's been fiery, back and forth, back and forth. So we all know why Black Lives Matter, and for the most of us who have chosen to educate ourselves know the reason why Black Lives Matter, and also understand that people who've joined this movement from all walks of life and this cause, which includes kindness, love, peacefulness, and seeking equality, that is the key focus, and not neglecting or saying other people do not matter. So I find myself explaining myself. It's unavoidable. Okay, so it's not that other people don't matter. I have to say it. Unfortunately, in 2020, it is about the history that Black Americans have gone through, especially Black African Americans, to be correct. And then I was also reflecting today that when I was writing like an article, so I've got a reminder on my phone, when I was writing an article about this experience so far, I was thinking that in some aspects I have been shielded from the experiences that most African Americans have had to go through. Shielded in that I lived in Malawi for several years before my teenage years. So I spent my teenage years, just before my teenage years, in the US, and I grew up there. So the time that I spent in Malawi, I didn't have to think about the things that I thought about in the US as a Black person, as a Black woman, because the majority of the people are Black people in Malawi. There's Indian, there's white, but the Black people are the majority. So in a sense, that's what I mean by being shielded, and the systems are geared towards supporting everybody, but it was also very inclusive and equal. So Black people there wouldn't have to worry about certain things that most people think about. In Europe, when I say people, it's Black people, African people, and people of color, and in America and in other countries as well. And there's so many things that I didn't expect in my life that I would have to think about in the back of my mind and consciously make decisions. For example, traveling to certain countries, being mindful first of all. And I would have had to think this, but it's something that you think about because you hear of stories, you hear of incidents, and some tragic ones, some torturous, some brutal, and some which have been violent, and also countries which haven't had effective systems that support everybody and offer equal opportunities. So there's statements such as breathing while Black, because basically even if you have gone through education, not to say that education or not being educated doesn't matter. What I mean by is that you've gone through education, you've studied, you've got a career, you've progressed on into living in your home and you feel safe, and still that is not sufficient, because the external world tells you over and over that you have to explain yourself, you have to prove certain aspects of yourself, or that there's certain people in this world, a minority, but who scream very loud with extremist views, or who intend to have these intentional acts of harm, of anger, of hatred, just because somebody else has got a darker skin pigmentation. So you consciously and unconsciously strategize throughout your life. Not that you want to, but external circumstances don't allow you to do that. Okay, so it might be while you're traveling, you get stopped over so many times, ask so many questions. When you see your other counterparts, white people from different walks of life, passing through while you're being stopped. So when people say, oh, get over it, not necessarily to me, I've seen some of these comments, or why don't people just, black people, get over it, or why don't you just comply? Not directly to me, but I've seen it posted again. Why don't you just comply? Why don't you just move on? There's certain systematic issues that have happened for decades, for centuries, for over 400 years in the US, that have ensured to trample on everything that black Africans, African Americans have attempted to do. And it's not only limited to black African Americans. The reason why is that now, why it's so urgent, is that black Americans are being killed. No matter what they do, they're being killed. So these are intentional acts of genocides that have been going on for years and years and years. And then there are people who say, oh, but you know, it happens to everybody and everything like that. This is systematic. It's ingrained in the system. Okay, and it's built into the judicial system, the police system, the judicial and court, prisons, communities, health, education. And it's not to say people don't try, they try. But from the beginning, it's been that there's been a disparity in terms of who is able to benefit. And black people have had to fight more in terms of overcoming and persevering, while white people acquired wealth from the beginning, even though black people helped to build America, as an example. You know, helped to build America, helped to create some of the wealth which wasn't given to them, which was given to other external people who also had the same pigmentation. So most of the property is not owned. Most of the spaces, the businesses, is not owned by black African Americans. It's almost like living on rented properties everywhere you go, no matter what you do. This is an example. Okay, it's not about handouts. It's more about being included, feeling equal as with everybody else. And that's what it's always been about. Not handouts, feeling included with everybody else. And I find myself explaining myself again. And it's so easy to do, but I think it's just this part of, it's an outlet. So the people who understand me will understand me. And it's not about, I guess the difference here is that when you go on social media and you see this long post or a thread of comments, you get caught up and there's fire. And everybody has a view, everybody has their own opinion, and everything gets lost within that, because everybody has got their own intentions, where they might be for good intentions or where they might be for bad intentions, right? So the people who are trying to do good and to be joined, trying as much as possible to explain, to educate, and they're getting drowned out. Now, this type of medium allows me to have that moment to actually, before I got on here, to step back, reflect, and not come from a place where I'm emotionally heated, or I'm emotionally angry, or have been going through like a grieving process where I might say things which I didn't intend to say, but I'll say them out of the heat of the moment. So this medium allows me to connect with you when I've regrouped my thoughts, when I'm able to articulate, although sometimes I might lose what I'm trying to say. So I'm hoping this makes sense, okay? That's why I choose my moments of when I engage in those threads. I choose people I know, or I choose significant posts which I know I'll have meaningful conversations with people, because it can be draining, it can be exhausting. And I always believe at the end of the day, the people who are genuinely interested, just like for me, when I travel, I ensure that if I went to Berlin recently, when was that? Last year. Yeah, last year, I can't remember which month, but I made sure to learn about like the history. You know, I visited so many sites. I went to the museum, I went to the art gallery, and now that we've been in lockdown, there's outlets. There's the Black Lives Matter website. There's Black American history sites, where even museums, not even museums, they're museums where it's easily accessible, but then you'll find that there's still people who are not open-minded to learn. So they'll throw something out there and make a statement, and you can tell that they haven't invested the time to actually care, to be compassionate, to understand the why before they jump into something. And then I've also been seeing this thing about protests, or no, riots, calling Black Lives Matter a riot. There's differences. There are protests going on. The intentions is to be peaceful. There are rioters and there are looters with different intentions. Okay, so the protesters, the intentions is to create equality, to be heard in a peaceful format. Then in the looters and the rioters, they'll also have different intentions, where some people will feel disadvantaged, that they haven't been heard, that they've been deprived, so they will react out of heated emotions. And then there are others who are the instigators, who are the agitators. They will do it to create something that was not there before, to make it look like the peaceful people, the peaceful protesters are the ones who are causing it. And unfortunately, some Black communities throughout this peaceful protest, not even quotation marks, it is peaceful protest, their communities have been destroyed, and they haven't been the ones who have destroyed them. Okay? I'm not an investigator. I'm not the truths are there. The truths are out there for people to find out who has actually contributed to the destruction. And for me, I'm open enough to actually do the research, to investigate further, to also know that it's not only one race, it's a diverse type of people who are protesting peacefully. I don't know why I keep doing this. Okay, so who are protesting peacefully, and then there are people who are rioting, and I'll do that, rioting and looting, that are causing the destruction, and they're also causing harm in that matter. So I've already mentioned in other videos that I don't believe in harming anybody. I can empathize. I don't also believe in destruction of properties. I can empathize with the emotions, because I understand the why people feel a certain way. Okay, so it's starting with the why, understanding why somebody's doing something. And then it's also understanding that that's the only way we can start to heal. When somebody has lost somebody who is meaningful to them, okay, if you've ever gone through grief, the first thing that you would want or you would appreciate is for somebody to empathize, to feel some form of compassion, some form of kindness, to check, to actually acknowledge that you've experienced that loss, to have some compassion of the significant loss that's impacted you. So this is the same process that is going on here, is that other people have taken out that factor to not care at all, that there is a why, okay, there is a hurt, there is a pain that a certain group of people are hurting. They haven't acknowledged that. They just want to be included so that they feel like they're not left out. Okay, I will support any cause that is out there. So if, for example, if you have been afflicted for 200, 400 years, and you felt that the system, the governmental systems, have limited you from having equal opportunities, they've racially discriminated against you, you've woken up every day where you are having to calculate how people are going to perceive you, and you're aware that the world views you differently because of your skin pigmentation, where you have to work even harder to prove and explain how you fit in into this world. And what else? Yeah, it's basically how to fit in. And although you try as much as possible, you know that there's certain events that are going to happen repetitively in your life. So you're going to be aggrieved because you're constantly being told that your race, your black skin is not equal enough. So if you've experienced that, this is the level of what's going on. If you've experienced something that has been embedded in the system, nobody has paid attention to you for all those, you know, centuries, decades, or whatever it is. They haven't empathized. They haven't had an understanding. The government hasn't listened to you. Then I'm open. I'm open to learning. I'm open to understanding how you've been afflicted. There are already facts there about the inequality, the racial discrimination, and also the murders that are happening to black people more than other races. So this is about, there's the bias in the shooting, choosing to intentionally shoot and kill black people. So if you're going through that experience as well, where it's been decades, years, centuries, there's a platform where you have that opportunity to actually arrange a movement where people listen to you, where people support the cause that you've experienced and you've been afflicted. Yeah, and this story could go, I was gonna say story, yes, this story could go on and on and on. And I don't know, narrative, yes, the narrative could go on and on.